All right. What's up, Greg? Your audio is off.
How about now?
All right. Perfect.
Cool.
All right, man.
Looks good.
Thanks for being here with us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it. You know, we're supposed to be in the radio studio right now, so we are not, but we're doing this video for social media so that they can, they can know what's going on here. And pretty cool. We're using the audio for radio too, which is nice. So Greg, we're going to give social media a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about, and then we're going to roll into like the radio show, right? We got to do things a little bit different. Can you give us a quick summary of what we're going to be talking about in about 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what I'm going to talk about today is that in this current market, a lot of folks are worried. They don't know what's going on, how it's going to affect their property values. But in any event, before they make any decisions, they should know that 3 out of 4 rental property owners have rent rates that are below market value. So before you start panicking, before you start wondering if you should sell, what you should do, if you stop making your mortgage payments, you need to first look at what your rent amounts are. And I know that's tough to think about considering a lot of tenants are out of work and things like that. But that's the first step. Just like your car, when you take it into the shop, you don't change the transmission, you check the spark plugs first.
Got you.
That's what I'm suggesting to folks, is start at the bottom of the totem pole and then work your way up, okay?
Awesome. We're going to get into the thick of that in a couple of minutes, so stay tuned, because you don't have to fire sale your home. Don't feel like you have to do that. We don't want people taking a bath here, so just bear with us. We're going to get into the radio segment, okay? So awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us today. My name is Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show and Podcast. We're here with you every single week, every Sunday at 10 a.m. on News Radio 920, 104.7 FM, and streaming on all of your major podcast channels. We're also on social media. So for all of our social media viewers, thanks for being here with us as well. We've got a ton of great content. Everybody is, curious how this COVID-19 is going to affect their real estate, their investments, everything. People are, really scared. They're running scared. And I just want to remind you that I started this show back in the day simply because it was a great time to buy when everyone was telling you not to buy. So the people that had taken my advice and the people that had taken my network's advice have done very well. I mean, there have been millionaires created during that time, and we're going to teach you how to leverage the markets and to not overreact as the mass media wants you to do. This is your local show for handling that, okay? And we're going to get into the thick of it. We got some great guests on the show with us today. We've got Greg Rice with Nexus Property Management, and we also have John Lapointe with Lapointe Insurance, Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage, and Ted Topouzis, who is a fantastic attorney here in Rhode Island and Florida and Massachusetts. So we've got on, the specialists here. And for all of you people that are stuck at home, like, oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? We got on ronblogger.com. She's going to share 5 things to do during this time where you can't get out of your home, right? So good stuff. Let's make light of it. Let's do our best here, and let's definitely talk about solutions and not problems, right? I think small minds like to talk about problems and complain about it, and I think the big minds like to talk about solutions and ways to conquer stuff. So Greg, let's get into that. What's up, Matt Bates? We'll be with you in a couple minutes, brother. Greg, let's get into into what we're talking about, how people don't have to necessarily sell off. Let's do a rent check. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so basically in a time like this, I see a lot of panic. I see a lot of uncertainty, both with the tenants and with the homeowners. Tenants, first off, are wondering, do I have to pay my rent? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Okay, the rent is something controlled by the private market. That's us as homeowners. Now, if the federal government wants to give some type of stimulus or relief directly to tenants or owners, that's something they do. But the rent is still due as normal. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to mention. The second thing is homeowners are wondering, should I just sell this property? I'm concerned. Are tenants going to pay me? Am I going to have to evict the whole building? Okay, so the first thing I tell them is take a chill pill. All right.
Yep.
We're in the middle of March. As bad as this epidemic is, it started at the best time of the month. That's the middle of the month where it's the most quiet. If this started on March 1st or April 1st, we would definitely be seeing a lot of non-payment issues, a lot of people scrambling. But ideally, for a problem to happen, the middle of the month is the best. So it did start at an ideal time for investors. As far as what you should do next, before you consider selling or even buying any other properties, you first need to look at what rent amounts you're getting currently. And I just wrote a nice article this morning. 3 out of 4 homeowners, Emilio, are not getting market value on their rentals.
It's 75%. So 75% of homeowners are not getting the right market value. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So what that means is they're leaving a great deal of money on the table. Now, a guy called me yesterday. He has a 6-family in Pawtucket. He has a 3rd floor that's ready for rent. I said, so what do you want for it? And he said, I want $725 to $750. And I actually rented this unit 5 years ago. I have the video of what it looks like. I said, hey man, we can get $895 for that all day. So right there, he's leaving $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year times the other 6 units, or the 5 units rather. So that's almost 10. That's like 10 G's that I just added to his bottom line simply by talking to him. So he might be a contender to sell it. He's going to sell it for, way less than what it's worth, etc. So my point today is you need to check your spark plugs first, and your spark plugs are your rent amounts. Check your rent amounts. Nexus offers free rental property checkups to any and all property owners in our service range of Rhode Island and Massachusetts. We'll tell you if you're spot on or if you're way off.
So one of the things, the reason why this conversation sparked is I was talking with Greg and Nick Dagnillo over at Nexus. Now, Nexus manages just under 1,000 units throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and they're franchising all over the country. Okay, so when things like this happen, okay, we reach out to different affiliates, to different people in the different facets of real estate to give you the whole picture. The media is giving you they're giving you fear, and they're giving you such a small picture of it all because fear sells commercials. It's total bull, right? All right, so the sky is not falling. Stuff is definitely changing right now, but that is supposed to be a temporary thing. There's a lot of good things going on, and we're going to cover these good things as we go. But, I want to leave you with this, right? Greg, I appreciate all that information, and I want all of the multifamily property owners, or even single-family property owners that are investors who probably just took a bath in the stock market. I want you to really think about this right now, right? If you are renting these properties out yourself, and if you are about to fire sale your property, okay, guess what? There's a lot of other people that are probably going to be jumping on the market within the next few months, fire selling their property. What do you think is going to happen to these high multifamily home prices? When the supply goes higher, and the demand is a bit lower, prices are going to either flatten or probably come down a bit. I don't think we're going to see 2008 crazy. No, stock market's doing that for us, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the housing market is. And here's why. Because people that have invested in the stock market, who have pulled their money out, are putting their money into assets, into real estate, putting their money into bonds. They're putting their money into things like that, which are more stable. Okay, so lastly, I want to leave you with this. We are here as a resource for you. We want you to check out what we can get you either for rent so you can keep your property. That's the most important thing, right? Yeah, I make money when I sell real estate, but I make more money when I create relationships and when I can keep clientele for a long period of time and when I can help them maintain their wealth and purchase way more down the road, right? This is a long-term goal, guys. So again, my name is Emilio DiSpirito. This is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. Greg Rice will give you, with Nexus Property Management, will give you a full-blown analysis on your rental units, no charge at all, okay? You can Google them, Nexus Property Management, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, okay? And they'll go ahead and take care of you. We're also preparing a page on our website, DiSpiritoTeam.com, to do the same. But we got to cut to a quick commercial break on radio. Social media people, stay with us because we're here on Zoom. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Greg Rice, any quick final thoughts?
Check your spark plugs.
Check your spark plugs. And if you missed that part of the segment, go on our Facebook, facebook.com/DiSpiritoTeam. Check it all out. And we'll post links all over our videos as well so you can connect with all these contributors and get your questions answered. Don't panic. There's things we can do to help you out. And if you are in a situation where you have to get rid of a property, we will help you there too. You can give us a call on our off-air number, 401-217-2333. Again, 401-217-2333. All right, cool. We're going to be right back here with Mathew Bates with Movement Mortgage in a moment. We're talking about the mortgage markets. He's here. He's on video with us. Greg, thanks for joining us today, brother. Take care, man.
You bet. All right.
Thank you. Awesome. We'll be right back after these quick messages from our sponsors on air. All right, awesome. Nice job, Greg.
Cool, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, I'm headed out.
All right, man. We'll see you later.
Hey, Greg.
Thanks, Matt. See you, Emilio.
Later, bro. Nice job. Thank you. All right, so Matt, we're going to jump back into it. So because this is also going to air on social media, this raw video, you know, I just told Greg that we have to start the video like radio show, right? So bear with me a second. It might feel a little weird not being in the studio doing this, but we got to pretend like we are having commercials and in the studio, okay?
Adapt and survive, man. Adapt and survive.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. So just bear with me 2 seconds.
I had my sign behind me, but it was reversed, and it didn't read right. I don't know how to make it so it reads right.
So Matt, so it's all good. Don't worry about it. So listen, I don't know if you probably just saw how the mortgage relief that just happened, right?
What? The mortgage relief?
Yeah. I got an article right here. I'm going to go ahead and share it with everybody in a minute. And then I want to talk about your subject, but I really think that this is pretty.
Yes. Can you send that to me so I can read it real?
Got it right here, bro. You see it?
How to get mortgage relief. Okay.
All right, cool. So listen, I've gone through this. We're just going to go over this because this video is live and it's going. So we're going to go ahead and start we're going to start the radio program, okay?
Okay.
I'll share that in a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take it away. Here you go. Boop. So if you Google Investopedia, mortgage relief, I think it'll pop up, Matt, while I'm getting this thing started. Okay, brother?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Right.
All right, man. Cool. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. We're here every single week with you talking about real estate. There's a lot going on in the market right now, nationally, internationally. You know, we don't want you to sweat this thing as bad as the media does. So keep in mind, the mass media is out there working to scare you. When they scare you, when you aren't fair, they can sell more products to you. All right. So that's not what it's all about. We're looking to keep you in your home. We want to keep the Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Connecticut, and all the markets stable. Real estate agents, banks, you know, politicians. I think everybody across the country is working really hard during these uncertain times to bring some sort of stability. So with this show, we've got on experts in different fields: mortgage, law. We just had on a property management company. We've got a insurance company. We also have Rhode Island Blogger giving us some things to do during these boring times. This show is going to be perfect. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage here with us. I'm pointing this way on video. Should be pointing to you over here. We got Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage here with us today. Matt, glad to have you here. A lot of uncertainty out there, man. And
yeah, very interesting times. Very, very interesting times.
Yes.
This business ceases to amaze me. You know, we've been through so many different things, and you know, and sometimes the time frame between major events is a lot longer, meaning like it's every 6 months or 12 months we're looking at some sort of, you know, change in the market, and we're analyzing it. And it seems that in today's market it's hour by hour. Like
It is.
it's changing drastically all the time, for the good, for the bad, for the craziness. And you know, it's really important to work with people that are continuing um, to do this battle every single day, like you know, yourself and Greg and other contributors that we have going on, because we're staying on top of the beat. We're like we're getting minute by minute, hour by hour information coming in, and we're adjusting and adapting to whatever the changing environment is, so that we can continue to you know, continue to serve our clients the way that they quite frankly deserve. And you know,
Matt, so I don't mean to interrupt you, bro, but listen, so you came on the show, we were going to talk about something completely different. We were literally going to, I'm trying to find your segment title here. I don't mean to, what were you going to jump on? Because we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about this, which was just released in the news in Investopedia.
okay, so the more and this is just released. So back to the point how it's forever changing. So this Investopedia is coming from as an article based off of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and basically they're saying that they're going to absolutely 100% work with homeowners to make sure that they don't see any sort of financial decline as far as credit scores are concerned, and late mortgage payments due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, this literally just came out. I just got an email from Investopedia. Now, keep in mind, we're recording this right now on Tuesday, okay? And on radio, it's Sunday right now. We're looking to potentially go live next week to bring you like the live latest stuff. But for anybody watching on social media, this just got released. So here's the deal. Here's the key takeaways of this. If you currently have a mortgage, okay, and if it's backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, okay, and you can look your companies up, Matt, they can look their companies up that they're dealing with to see if they are associated or
yeah, and touch base with your previous, whoever the loan officer was. You can just call up and talk to the servicer.
All right, great. So new guidelines may allow them to reduce or suspend payments for up to 12 months. That's huge. Now, in addition, they're not going to be charged late fees or reported to credit bureaus. Now, Matt, a lot of people are really nervous about the market taking a nosedive because they feel with the lack of employment and all these, you know, there's several hundreds of thousands of unemployment claims going on. They feel like we could literally take a nosedive. But I got to tell you, I think that banks and regulators are doing the right thing this time around to avoid that as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely working with everybody. I mean, this is not the American citizens' fault because of the coronavirus,
No.
and the government is force placing non-working. Like in order to save the day, they're telling you not to go to work, not to function as a normal society. They're telling you to stay at home. As a result of that, you can't do your day-to-day job. The majority of Americans cannot do their day-to-day job that earns them their paycheck. So therefore, how do you pay your bills if the government's telling you not to work like the way that you're supposed to? So in return, they are now the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, which are private companies, are following the lead of the government, saying, okay, you know, the government saying we have to cease and desist all operations, stay at home, be safe, be with your family, don't worry about anything. We got you. The Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are following right behind that in that line, and allowing this to take place, so that way, you know, that fear should go away. Really, I mean, you know, this is people. It's a very scary situation.
It is.
This should help with the fear.
It's definitely an awesome thing. So another thing too is, you know, so the way this works, right? They say that you may not have to pay mortgage for 12 different payments. Okay. The way that this works is that it's a forbearance period. So that means that the mortgage payments go on the end of your term. So if it's a 30-year term, that's what, 360 months, Matt, right? So if you're, if you're in year 2 or 1 or 10 or 15, it's going to go to the end of your mortgage.
Yeah, it's very important for all listeners to know this is not a forgiveness. We're not forgiving you your mortgage debt. You still owe the debt. It's just we are postponing it from where you have to actually start paying. So, that's important to know, so that you don't have those wasted conversations later when the virus goes away and you're like, oh, I thought I didn't have to pay those payments. Like, no, you have to pay those payments. But like Emilio said, they're tacked on at the end.
Yeah, I think this is really big. And keep in mind, we're going to go ahead and keep you posted as we continue to get information on this subject, like anything else. And I think this is just fantastic news for the American public. So no foreclosures or evictions for a 60-day period. That's what the federal housing directed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to suspend foreclosures and evictions for at least 60 days, providing that your loan is backed by either company. Okay, so like Matt said, call your loan processor, whoever it is, call that company or call the person who originally got you the loan. They should be there to help you out and to let you know who is carrying your loan and what your options are. Don't panic. We're going to get through this time. All right. Another thing too, no late fees and no reporting to credit bureaus. That's absolutely amazing. So again, you're going to want to find all the details. This is according to investopedia.com. That's a fantastic resource, by the way. I'm always on investopedia.com. They've got a lot of great stuff. I urge our listeners to search online, look around, get this information, but this information just came out and is there right now. So Matt, we've got about 2 minutes. Was there anything else you wanted to quickly discuss with our listeners?
Basically, just the vitality of the market is not something that to ignore, and really, I've had almost all of my phone conversations with customers in the last 48 hours have been conversations about things that have happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it's just not the scenario at the moment.
It's so different.
It's so different, and that's where it's been changing from minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. You can't be expected for you to take advantage of something that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because of how crazy the market is going right now, and you need to instead of hearing that and then now applying it 2 weeks later, you should just listen to what we got going on, so that way you can take advantage of what opportunities you have today and then apply it to going forward.
Yeah.
Basically what it is. I mean, I hope that this virus goes away as soon as possible and we get back to normal, market conditions. But for the immediate time frame, this is not going away. This is going to be a very, very crazy experience. But with every turmoil and everything that happens in this world, as soon as things get difficult, there's always a room for opportunity.
Well,
and you have to look at it from that direction. And if you
absolutely
do so, I promise you'll find some good out of this. There's definitely, whether it's a customer refinancing to lower interest rate to help with the monthly bills,
yep,
or not qualifying for more of a housing payment because the rates are lower. Those things are all very, very real conversations that I'm having every day. So
absolutely, Matt. Definitely. I appreciate you being on here. Feel free if you want to stay on for the rest of the show, Matt.
I do have a phone call at 10:30, so I'm gonna have to let you guys go.
No sweat, bro. Give me a shout after, because I might want to do another one of these to talk a little bit further in depth with social media about this. So awesome. So Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage. If you have any questions at all regarding mortgages, maybe your mortgage or about potentially refinancing or whatever it is, Matt is a fantastic resource, and you can go to therimortgageguy.com. Again, therimortgageguy.com. Reach out, let them know you heard it or saw it here on the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back here on News Radio 920, 104.7 FM. And and streaming on WHJJ. I forgot for a second. We'll be right back here in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Awesome. Hey, Matt, nice job. Thank you.
You got it, man. I'll talk to you soon.
You bet. Hey, Mr. Lapointe, how are you?
What's happening, man?
What's up, John? I want to say hi and bye.
Hey, good to see you.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, take it easy.
All right, man. Take care, Matt. Thank you. Nice job, man. All right. So John, this whole thing we're leaving, we're just going to run with it, right? So social media is watching all this, well, not right now, but when we post it. And then I got to do the radio thing. So you got to bear with me through that.
You got it.
All right, I hear a little bit of feedback. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that.
Oh, really? Okay. 1 sec.
All right, brother. All right, I'm just going to start the show while you're doing that, okay? No big deal. All right, awesome. Hey, if you're just joining us, my name is Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. We're here for you, and we're talking real estate through these very turbulent and uncertain times. I know a lot of people are concerned about their real estate. They're concerned about, if they're in the process of buying or selling, if it's actually going to happen. So we've got an attorney coming on a little bit later on in the show to talk about that, recordings, different things going on. But right now we have John Lapointe with Lapointe Insurance, and John is a fantastic resource for us. And he's talking about how do insurance policies cover lost income due to coronavirus, and will it cover lost rent for landlords? These are all fantastic topics, and John, we appreciate you being here with us today to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Emilio. And can you hear me okay? Is the feedback good on this? All right, perfect. So, this is a question that I have received from a lot of my business owner clients and landlord clients because, well, it's a common question because when you look at your either business owner's policy or your insurance policy for your property as a landlord, you'll see on there's a coverage for lost income, or if you have a investment property, you might see lost rental income or loss of rents. So all of these, when you see that coverage on your policy, you automatically assume that there may be coverage anytime that some circumstances lead to you being unable to take income, either from rents or from your place of business. Like if you owned a restaurant, that's the most common example that I'm getting. Those are the most common questions that I'm getting from restaurant owners is, because I had to shut down because of coronavirus, is my insurance policy going to pay to replace the lost income during that time? And unfortunately, the answer is no. And the reason being is that while it seems like that coverage should cover any lost income, it's really specific to lost income due to a covered physical loss. So in the example of a restaurant, right? If you had a fire or something in your restaurant that caused you to close your business and you weren't able to operate during the time the restaurant was being rebuilt, that'd be a perfect example to file the business interruption claim on your policy and get back the lost income during that time. Okay. However, disease or viral, any other type of loss that's not an actual physical loss to your place of business that causes the lost income is not going to be covered. It's not going to respond on the policy. So unfortunately, I've been the bearer of bad news to a lot of folks in that your insurance policy is just not going to cover it. But I do think it's an important message to get out there, because there are some insurance agents that have been going out saying, call your agent, make sure you have proper coverage. If your agent's not covering your business interruption during this time, they're doing you a disservice. But the fact of the matter is that the form just doesn't cover it. It's not intended to cover that sort of lost income.
Yeah, and I mean, it pretty much makes sense, right? It's one of those things. I mean, that's pretty sad for a lot of people, but there's nothing they can do about that. But
it's really tough. And the government is working hard to try and kind of stimulate small businesses and help reimburse them for lost income. But it's just a really very unfortunate and trying time for a lot of small business owners who are dealing with this crisis that we're going through.
Yeah.
And, Greg Rice at Nexus Property Management was the one who told me I should talk about lost rental income, because he's received a lot of questions from his clients. Because now I don't know exactly what occurred. Maybe you could shed some more light on it, but it sounds like they're evictions are being delayed in some way, or you're right. It's stopping people from potentially paying their rent.
Yeah, you're correct. So evictions, well, first off, I mean, I think the courts are out in Rhode Island until mid-April.
Okay. So they're just not even operating.
Yeah. So that's unless it's like, something that can't like hold off, I believe. But so for things like evictions and family court and a lot of that stuff, I believe that is pushed back. Okay. So that's pretty much the biggest thing. But I think that, and this information just came out, John, I can actually put it right back up on the screen. I do believe, let me find this here. I do believe that they are the federal government, along with regulators, are pushing back the potential eviction if you, if you currently live, okay. So let me see here. They're pushing back foreclosures. They're pushing back evictions. So there's a lot of stuff coming out, John, and this news is just coming out way too quick to be able to read all this and know it all. Literally, I just got this in my email before the show started. Again, we're recording today.
They're suspending foreclosures and evictions. The order went into effect March 18th. Yeah, so I suppose when a lot of tenants hear that and they're saying, okay, well, I can't get evicted, they might not pay rent, right? And so it leaves the landlord in a tough spot because they can't get them evicted, at least until that temporary order is lifted. And unfortunately, the same goes, on a landlord policy for your investment property, there is coverage for loss of rental income.
Yep.
But that coverage only responds at the time of a physical loss. So if something happens to your, exactly. Fire, let's say a pipe bursts and floods an apartment and those tenants have to move out while you're rebuilding it, that's when the policy will respond and pay for your lost income, so that while you're repairing the building, you're still able to, collect the income that you need to pay the mortgage. But in a situation like this, when, a rule or regulation comes out and tenants just decide to stop paying their rent, or even if it wasn't related to coronavirus, if a tenant just decided, I'm not going to pay my rent, or they decided I'm just going to move out and you're stuck without a tenant, the policy is not intended to cover that. Those are just things that happen that, you take that risk when you become a landlord. Your insurance policy is always going to respond to physical loss first and will help you recover lost income as a result of that, typically.
Yeah, needless to say, I mean, if business owners, multifamily owners are going through a pretty rough time right now. And I think it's going to get a whole lot rougher for both of them when this thing pans out for a lot longer. So I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. But the good news is that the regulators, federal government are working, if you are with Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, to be able to push back and forbear your payments for up to 12 months if you qualify. So you're going to have to speak with your mortgage lender or your banker or your processor to find out if you do qualify for that. But there's no late fees. There's also, in addition, there's they're not going to report it to the credit bureau, which is nice. So if you're out of work due to the coronavirus, this could absolutely apply to you. It's nice to see these things happening. And you've got companies like Lapointe Insurance here who have been in the community for decades, doing whatever they can to help. They don't make these insurance policies. They just help you get insurance in place that can help cover from normal circumstances.
Exactly. And we just try to advise clients as best we can about what they're actually getting, so that they know to be prepared for worst case scenarios. So unfortunately, I've been the bearer of bad news a couple of times this week, but I've also been the bearer of good news. We're lucky that our office has the capability to have everybody work from home and work remote and still maintain our same level of function. A
Yeah.
lot of small businesses don't have that luxury. And, you know, so silver lining here, I think, in all of this is that a lot of businesses are learning new ways to operate, finding out how to, you know, deal with this in a way that can still continue
You bet.
business as usual. And the world's going to change from this. It's
Yeah.
definitely, you know, I think we'll come out of it stronger for
Yeah.
the next couple months. It's going to be a really challenging time for everybody. You know, I'm a social person myself. It's, you know, it sucks to not even be in the studio with you today, you know?
I know, dude, this is completely different recording like this, but we're making it work, you know, and
Absolutely.
if anything, you know, I've got several ideas going through my mind I'll talk with you about after, but, you know, I'm just grateful for this technology. You know, I'm in my basement, you're at your office, which
Yep.
is
Empty office, by the way.
yeah. Oh yeah. It looks beautiful. That's your new office over there.
Thanks, man.
Definitely. John with Lapointe Insurance. Lapointe Insurance can help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs, business insurance as well. And these guys are fantastic. They've been around for a long time. And if you have any questions, feel free to go to LapointeInsurance.com, right? Or is it Lapointe?
Yes, LapointeINS.com.
LapointeINS.com, or just Google them. I Google everything. I'm not trying to learn how to spell everything.
Google LaPointe Insurance. We'll show up.
Awesome. Let them know that you saw him here or heard him here on the radio or podcast. John, thanks for being here with us. This is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. I'm Emilio DiSpirito. We're going to be right back after these quick messages. We have, take care, buddy. Thank you. We have Ted Topouzis with Topouzis and Associates coming on next, talking about deeds being recorded during this whole shutdown and how we're still closing houses for now. All right, stay tuned. We're going to be right back here in a couple moments. Thank you. Awesome. Nice job.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Could you hear me okay? I was in the conference room first, and it was super echoey.
Yeah, no, I can hear you absolute perfect. We actually, okay. I've got a couple minutes before Ted jumps on here, and you know, and I wish we had more time to go into more detail on stuff, because I think you got a lot more that you can share, and we do too, and these things just fly by.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I want to tell anybody, if they're listening right now, is like, before you panic and sell or feel like you've lost out or missed out on something real estate wise, what I want you to do is I want you to contact, if you own a rental property, contact Nexus Property Management, okay, and tell them that you saw here that they can give you a free rental assessment. Because John, we were talking with Greg Rice, right? And he said that 3 out of 4 people are not getting market rents on their property. So what happened? Wow. You know, so people are like, oh my God, I can't pay my mortgage, my insurance, I can't pay my taxes, but they're not collecting enough rents. So what these people are doing that don't know this, right? They stop paying their insurance. They're leaving themselves up to risk. They stop paying all this other stuff. They're afraid, and then they try to sell their property during this time. A lot of other people are probably going to be on. And it could just create a problem.
That's not good.
No, man. It's not.
Well, that's an awesome resource that Greg and his team can do.
Yeah, of course. And of course, if they have to sell, we can help them out. But we're not looking to make some short change on that. I'd rather have the relationships with people and have long-term tenants. Long-term, clients. But I'm looking at your office in the background, John. That's a beautiful office.
Thanks, man. You want a little tour?
Yeah. Give us a little tour while we're waiting for our next guest.
All right. So this is our soft seating area.
Man.
Over here.
That's beautiful. Look at all those cubicles, man. How many people do you have working for you?
Conference room. We got 27.
That's a beautiful thing, man. So that nice conference room. Did you put all of those people from different locations into one spot, or?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody is in one location now in Fall River. Obviously everybody's working from home now, with the exception of me and Rick Lima, who at this point, we've been together for the last couple of weeks. So we can't infect anybody or get infected by anybody in this empty office. So I feel pretty safe here.
Yeah. I see the videos you guys are doing. One is the loneliest number.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it's great. But you know what's funny, Emilio, is that we talked about this in one of the videos we recorded on Saturday, is that obviously it was a little bit of a challenging time for us moving everybody from our offices in Westport and North Attleboro to the now central office in Fall River.
Yeah.
And we were afraid that a lot of clients would feel put out by it, not being able to come into their local office anymore to get their work done. And in kind of an ironic turn of events, 2 weeks after we changed offices, COVID-19, coronavirus, people can't even come into our office if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And so it's forcing us to through email, telephone, do everything digitally, and in a way showing them that we can still maintain the same level of customer service even remotely, so that even when we do come back to our office and have all of our staff here, those clients realize that we can still get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
While being remote and not having them come to our office. So I'm just like really weird timing. I wouldn't have wished that this happened, but in a way it is helping prove that we can still get the job done without having an office in your backyard.
That's, John, that's why I like you, brother, because you know what? You're one of those people that understand the opportunity. You're an entrepreneur. You are a freaking good neighbor. You're a great business partner. You're always looking out for everybody. And the fact of the matter, you're welcome. And the fact of the matter that people like you, okay, that I'm lucky enough to be surrounded with, and Greg Rice, and Matt Bates, and Ted Topouzis, Melissa Delana, all those types of people, you guys are literally finding opportunity during this time to get stuff done and to get it done at a better rate than before, which is amazing.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, man, this is going to change the world. It's going to change the way that we do business.
Yep.
And in a way, it's going to show that, the people who are ready to take advantage of opportunity and try things a different way and make the best of a crappy scenario are going to come out of this stronger.
Absolutely, man. Again, appreciate having you on here. Listen, if you have any questions for John Lapointe, feel free to Google Lapointe Insurance. Contact John. Follow him on Facebook. The guy is hilarious. He's always putting out great videos and a ton of awesome content. The best content in all of insurance. I guarantee you that. Kid is
thanks, man.
Insurance world on fire, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. John, thanks for being here with us. I can't wait to be in studio with you again in person. I'll see you soon, okay? Be safe out there, bro.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. And hi and bye, Ted. Good luck with your segment.
John, how are you? Good to see you.
Thanks yourself. Yeah, you too.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Take
it easy, guys.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. Hey, Ted, welcome to our virtual Zoom studio time, man.
I like it. This is nice.
Yeah.
I had a little technical difficulties. I had to download the app, and then it didn't work, but I got it to work.
We got a beautiful tour of Lapointe Insurance's new office. I mean, his office is unbelievable. They just did a new office in Fall River, and they're doing a fantastic job. So Ted, what we're doing here is this video people can see on social media when we post it, right? But we're going to go ahead and still treat this like the radio show. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the radio segment and then you, so they can get the audio out as well. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any actual gap affidavits in front of me. I just wanted you to know. But we're just going to talk, right?
Yeah, Ted, don't even worry about it. Listen, the people watching right now are either in situations or not in situations or just curious. You and I, as professionals, we know what's going on. We don't need to show anybody the affidavit. Spoken like such an attorney. You. And I'm so glad you detailed like that. I appreciate that about you.
All right. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, hold on 1 second. All right. This is so weird doing this, right? But whatever.
It is weird. I agree.
I like it, but it's weird, right? So, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, I'm Emilio DiSpirito, and this is the DiSpirito Team Real Estate Show. We're here with you every single week here on News Radio 920, 104.7 FM, and streaming on WHJJ. This is your show all about real estate, okay? Whether you're buying, selling, investing, we hope you're not panicking right now, even though, of course, it is an easy time to do so. If you are stuck in the thick of a transaction and you are wondering, is this thing going to close or not? Don't worry. We're going to guide you through that today. If you're a real estate agent or a real estate professional thinking that the world is, the sky is falling, it's not. We're going to get through this. And we've got on bright minds on this show to get us through this. We've got Ted Topouzis with Topouzis and Associates here with us.
Good morning, Emilio.
Ted, I'm really good. And Ted, I'm so glad you're here with us because there's a lot of uncertainty right now about the markets. And I urge anybody, by the way, make sure that they like our Facebook page to stay up to date with the latest here in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. Facebook.com/DiSpirito team. And they can go ahead and watch these videos, see our podcast, and stay up with the latest stories. So Ted, there's a lot of people that are concerned that they may not be able to close on their property. Can you tell us exactly what's happening with like the town halls, the city halls, and how we are still getting our clients to the closing table?
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of sum it up. Of course, last week things were really up in the air. We had no idea what was going on, and I'm sure this is really, happening like across the country with a lot of closures and government stepping in. Also trying to figure things out on the fly. And so, that was kind of happening last week. This week, I think we've kind of, it's settled down just a little bit. It is only Tuesday, but, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, things are a little bit more understandable. But the way it is at the moment, and at least in Rhode Island, is that there are a lot of, everything is handled on a town level, town or city level.
Yeah.
And it is pretty fluid still. We get updates regularly from the title insurance underwriters as to what town halls are closed or not closed, or provide limited access. So essentially, most of them are open, to business, but not necessarily to visitors. And so what has to happen is that we have to call ahead and confirm that the municipality is open, that the town is open. And then the question is, can they, let's say if we just, are about to do a closing, can we record or not record? And for the most part, I think they do allow us to record, but we'd have to put the documents either, slip them under the door, or it sounds crazy, but it's true, or put them in a box, maybe get them time stamped. And then, they will, just yesterday, for example, we had a situation with a file that closed on Friday afternoon. We got the documents to Cumberland, and the town of Cumberland, and the town of Cumberland this morning called us up and gave us the book and page references to all the recorded instruments. So the only thing is, though, and this is, I think, going to take us into the next point on our segment here, is that not every lender likes this. They're not too happy about what do we do here when we're not able to get them recorded? Or what do we do as far as updates if we can't get into the recording office, to the town hall or to the registry in Mass. And so, that's taking us, I think, to the next point, and that's the underwriters have stepped up to the plate and have offered a gap coverage, which the way, and let me explain what this is to the audience. It's a gap coverage is where the title search is done to a certain point in time, usually within a week or two, 2.5 weeks, let's say, from the execution of the purchase and sales agreement, okay, or if it's a refi, from the title order, okay. And so we have a certain point where a search was done, and the effective date on that title is through that date. We then will move, do everything we need to do in terms of getting the closing to take place. And then at the closing, or immediately after the closing, typically, we will do an update of the title. And if title looks good, an update meaning from the previous point in time, the effective date of the commitment, to the moment that we're recording, nothing shows up in the public records, then, which is defined as the gap, by the way, okay? Then we record the documents, and then, when everything is fine. But so it's this gap, the point from the initial commitment, the commitment that was previously run, the effective date of that commitment, till the moment that the documents are recorded, is the questionable period of time now, where we can, we may be able to record, but we may not be able to do an update. For example, Cumberland is one of those municipalities. They're not online, so we can record, but we can't update the title. So that's where the gap affidavit comes in. The gap affidavits, depending on the underwriter, will either be signed by the seller, which is primarily the party that is representing to the title insurance company, to the buyer, to the attorneys, that know they don't know of anything that would have been recorded after the title search that was initially done, and they're basically giving us a certification. So some underwriters will also want the buyer to sign off too. So so this affidavit is basically giving a comfort level to the underwriter, to the attorney. Okay, so now we can close and we can disperse. And then if something does come up in between, then that would be the responsibility of the title insurance company, who would then go back to the seller for making them whole. That's what typically has happened. And by the way, this is not a new concept. This is a very, it's new for us because we're not accustomed to this. We do dry closings. We don't give checks at the table. But in Florida, the gap is insured by the title insurance company. Has always been that way. That's the standard. And so when we do our closings down there, we close the gap because we can do online searches, but we hand over a check and keys right at the table. So it's a little different today,
So what our audience might not know is that Ted owns an office down in Florida, is licensed in Florida. So we have people that are already used to doing all of the process that, that maybe some other law firms are trying to catch up to do. You're already in tune with how to do it. You already have systems in place how to do it. So to sum it all up, and that was awesome, Ted, thank you. To sum it all up, closings are still happening right now, okay? There's one other quick thing that we got to cut to a quick commercial break in a second, but I'm sorry, we have RI Blogger coming on in a second, but there's one other thing that we have to discuss, Ted, and that's basically smoke detectors, right? So
if
the fire departments are shut down, right? And we literally have about 30 seconds to say this, so I don't know if you could fit that in.
We'll say it really quick. So in Rhode Island, the state passed an executive order that essentially said, you can proceed with your closing. You're just going to need to do a holdback and a video. Well, it's really supposed to be a video or a holdback, but it'd be the safest bet would be to do both.
What's a holdback?
$150, and it's just for the purposes of making sure that the smokes are installed and the inspection passes.
All right, awesome. So cool, awesome. So and this is just for radio show purposes. Jack, who's our producer, you could go ahead and cut this segment from here. This is so funny doing it like this, but Ted, we're okay. We have time to chat on this video that's going to go on social media before Jennifer Geaber with our blogger comes on. So basically people are worried right now, Ted, that they're pending, they're afraid if everything shuts down that they're not going to be able to close. But I just saw an article in the National Association of Realtors are working, it's from the National Association of Realtors, and they're working right now in Washington to have us considered as an essential business, right? And real estate, I mean, is an essential business. I mean, not only are we dealing with people's shelter foremost, right? Number one, we're dealing with people's shelter, right? So they're working hard to do that. Here's another big thing too, is the economy is already getting smacked around, right? And the real estate business is roughly 17% of the economy, of our gross domestic product here in America. I saw that. I think I saw that in the National Real Estate Post. I believe it was theirs that said that. So long story short, man, I also saw in another article by the National Association of Realtors that every 2 home sales generates 1 job. Okay, so every 2 home sales generates 1 job. The amount, what?
Yeah. I said that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is, right? So you know, I want our listeners and I want people that, you know, to know that they don't need to be in a panic type of situation right now. We're gonna get them through this. We're all gonna get through this. I believe a cure is probably sooner than later. I really do. And we've got all the bright minds around us, you know.
I can add something really quickly too.
Please.
You know, when Massachusetts, when the governor signed the executive order yesterday, the order does state that real estate, that settlement services are an essential service. So, you know, I mean, we're probably going to see that in Rhode Island as well, if if it gets to the point where it has to close. So hopefully that's not the case. You know, I know that our governor mentioned on Sunday that, you know, she'd like to see the attorneys, you know, work from home. You know, for the most part, a lot of our office people are working from home. You know, there are a few people, including me right now, you know, here at the office. So I am, you know, still open. We are definitely spaced out here more than enough. You know, but I have closings. I have closings today. I have closings tomorrow. You know, and there's going to be a question of getting on the street, you know, to travel to a closing. Am I going to get stopped and turned back? You know, but I am one of the essential services, so we'll see what happens. I'll make my next segment about that adventure.
So before I let you go real quick, and hi Jen, I see you there. We'll be with you in a second. Before we let you go real quick, they didn't make real estate agents essential services yet?
Oh, they didn't?
No, I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, I have to take a look. I think it's all part of the same. You know, yeah, because we can't get to the closing without you guys.
Well, we can't close, you know, without the escrow companies and attorneys and stuff. So yeah, I hear you. It's all hand in hand. I agree. So, and there's, by the way, there's 9.5 million jobs in the real estate sector here in America. 9.5 million jobs in the real estate sector.
Crazy.
From property management to real estate. It's crazy,
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
1.5 million realtors or 1.4 million realtors. Great.
Yeah, significant.
Yeah,
so
man.
we'll get through it. I'm sure. You know, it's just I like that we're, you know, at least from my perspective, I like to see that we're an essential component, and I'm sure that realtors are as well. You know, although I have to double check that, but I think they would be.
Yeah.
So, you know, that allows us to continue even at a skeleton level until things, you know, pop up again.
Hey, you guys are doing a hell of a job. We appreciate it. Ted, thanks for being here with us, man.
You're welcome.
All the
You're
insights.
welcome.
Dude, I know.
Thanks for having me do it this way.
I could talk with you for like an hour, 2 hours about the same subject, and we'll still have more stuff to talk about. So
no question.
You know, definitely, we'll probably do another Zoom call for social media at some point soon, where we're not restricted with the radio time and stuff. Okay, so I think that's what we should do. All right, man.
Sounds good.
Be safe out there. Thank you so much.
Okay, you too. All right, Amelia. See ya.
Man. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Hey, Jen, hold on 1 second. I will unmute you. Boom. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. We never, ever, ever get to see you on video. It's nice to see you. So yeah.
I promise we're not going to have surprise guests. So, you know, I've got one sitting here. He's not moving.
Oh, you know what? Can I see your puppy?
Sure.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. Hi.
My dog he was literally over here behind me a little while ago, walking around back here. So don't even worry about it. We love pets.
Okay. Yeah. Cause he's nosy.
What a beautiful dog. Wow. So Jen, the way we're working this is, you know, we can definitely talk a little bit further about stuff in a minute, but, we're chopping this up for the radio. They need the audio from it. So
Okay.
we're going to go ahead, fake like your intro music played, and then I'm going to go ahead and present you. And then I think we need to keep it to maybe like 3 minutes if possible. And then we can talk further after that. I'm going to close the show out, and then we can talk further after that about anything else you want to chat about, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, awesome. All right, cool. So, all right. On the line with us, we've got Jennifer Geaber with riblogger.com. Jennifer's here with us weekly talking about the top 5 things going on in Rhode Island. So this is a fantastic website, especially during this time. If you're wondering what the heck am I going to do cooped up in my home, Jen is bringing the freshest ideas to us. So Jen, welcome back to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. So yeah, we took a little bit of a turn this week. We have a contributor to our site, Nicolette Fraza. She was kind enough to fill us in on 5 tips to stay healthy during quarantine, because it's easy to kind of slip into a slump. I mean, it's you have to keep that up and thinking about your nutrition. So she's got 5 tips that I will share with you to help you all stay healthy during your quarantine. First and foremost, I mean, it's easy now because we shopped for like ultra processed foods that are going to live in our pantry for a while, to just limit sugars and limit ultra processed foods, and just think, you know, try to ensure adequate fruit and vegetable intake, because there's a lot of stores that are still stocking that produce. So if you have to go to the store, make sure to plan ahead and grab lots of fresh fruits and veggies, just because I think people are tending to think about getting non-perishable foods, which is also a great idea. But at the same time, while we're still able to go back and forth to the grocery store or to the farmer's market, there's lots of delivery right now of fresh fruits and vegetables. Just make sure you're stocking up on those and getting as much as you can now. Obviously, drinking plenty of fluids, mostly water, tea, even bone broths or soups, or if you have a juicer, smoothies, those sort of things, you can just, you know, get a lot of nutrients in that way. Keeping a routine, I'm finding this for me is really helping me, especially if you're homeschooling right now, which many of us are.
They're doing it upstairs right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that routine, I mean, I just ordered on Amazon. It's not here yet, but a whole calendar, which I have like my little scheduler that I use, but now it's just for everyone to see, like wake up, breakfast, get dressed, and then go about your day, schedule in your work hours, but just make sure you're keeping some sort of a routine. And it actually helps the day go a little faster too, I find. Sometimes the first few days it was like, wow, it's only 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Also, you want to plan and prep healthy meals and snacks, especially if you have little ones at home that are going to want to reach for those snacks that they don't always get. I'm finding like I've cut up tons of fruits and veggies. I just put them in little bowls in the fridge, and my daughter just reaches in and grabs some good healthy things. Obviously sleeping, you want to keep your sleeping, and then meditation, yoga, working out. There's a lot of online yoga classes, online fitness classes. This morning I joined South County Adventure Boot Camp's online fitness virtual boot camp every morning. So just, you know, keeping with those things that are what you're used to doing, and getting outside. Definitely get outside. That's not canceled.
Yeah.
But you know, they may seem obvious right now, but I think it's important that we're, you know, putting our health first and foremost.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, Jen, and again, for radio purposes, unfortunately, we can cut you short, but for social media purposes, we don't have to. So, bear with me a second. I'm going to close out the show. Okay. Awesome.
Sure.
All right, great. All right, thanks, Jennifer. And you can catch all of that at riblogger.com. Again, riblogger.com. Check all of the best things to do while you are cooped up in the house, and learn how to stay healthy during that time too. I'd like to thank all of our contributors for this time. We had on John Lapointe with Lapointe Insurance, also Matt Bates with Movement Mortgage, Ted Topouzis with Topouzis and Associates, Greg Rice with Nexus Property Management, and Jennifer Geaber with riblogger.com. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and we're going to be back here next week to give you the latest. Make sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/DiSpirito team for all of the latest info, and you can call us off air 401-217-2333 if you have any questions at all. 401-217-2333. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless you, and we will hear from you, or I'm sorry, we'll be here next week. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Jen. Anything else you want to share with anybody that's maybe in social media land right now?
Yeah, I mean, the other things, I'm trying to post weekly hikes, so like 5 hikes a week. So I'll be posting new hikes today. And then we have 15 virtual field trips to take with your kids. So if you're really looking for something, to fill the gap, there's some pretty interesting sites that you can really go all over the world from your computer, take some virtual field trips.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's that's one of the things I like about my Peloton, right? I bought one of the Pelotons.
You did?
Yeah. And I took like a solid month off. No good, right? It's not turning into a clothes rack yet though, and I am starting back on it tonight. But you can literally go all over the world, all over like national parks and everything, and it's nice to kind of get away, right? Go find yourself in the basement or in another room and just take time for yourself and be healthy and get away, because like you said, the homeschooling can be madness. Like my wife is studying for school right now, running 2 businesses. Actually, they shut one of her businesses down. We got our 2 kids upstairs. I'm running the real estate business, the radio show, everything else. Like everyone's in the same boat. You're running your business from home, Jen. It's tough right now for parents.
I'm surprised these guys aren't barking back.
It's the first time he did it though. I'm pretty grateful. We've been on here for, I got 2 down here, but we've been down here for like an hour or so. But yeah, Jen, appreciate you being here. And again, just want to give riblogger.com a shout out. It's a really cool site. And stop it.
I know, right? Yeah, these guys are, one's on the couch, one's,
At least yours are behaved. These guys over here, they wanna go play. So awesome, Jen. Thanks for being here with us. Nice seeing you.
You too. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Awesome. And I want you guys to check out all of these links. We're gonna put links on the bottom of this post here. Feel free to check out all of those different businesses and links. You can connect with them. You might want to follow them on social media as well. People will keep you informed with what's happening, what's going on out there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later on. Take care now.